stun on him.
He's got the lane in the perfect position to like at his tower, so they can't actually dive him.
Pretty far forward here, and he is going to have another lift in a second from MSS. They might not even need it. They just keep punching him down. Resolution. Well, MSS takes that one for himself. That doesn't have the lift yet, actually.
Yeah, just most people skill the Fable level 1. Yeah. It's like every single time. Most of the time you skill telekinesis, it's just not a good level 1 ability. Yeah. It's got a nerf way to me. So it looks like, I mean, very advantageous 3 lanes for forward coming right out. Like top lane, it's going to be a free farm TB. Centaur's not getting much of anything. Tidehunter has the wave in a good spot for himself. Mid lane is a Pugna advantageous matchup, like we said. So definitely a bit of pressure onto J-Storm already in these. I mean, it's 2 minutes in, but...
Well, a little jump here onto Universe. We'll get hit there, and Kraken Shell not proccing yet. Good body blocks from Moo, but doesn't really look like Universe is phased at all. We'll get a couple more hits before he uses the salve. And we're seeing the Pugna kind of dismantle the OD in this mid lane. Already 16-7 versus the 10-2. Looking a little bit bad a second ago, and we'll see if they can keep it up there. 7-9 is pretty intense.
It's just, I mean, Pugna is just such a good hero versus OD at all parts of the game. Like lane, OD can do okay to get some last hits with Astral, like I was mentioning, but yeah, you get crushed.
MSS taking the last hit, and then letting the Centaur know about it a little bit. Arch there, throws out some spirits onto SVG.
Yuar's even gone for an early point in the Nether Ward, which you don't see too many people do, but that's even more harassment and even more annoyance versus the OD.
3 minutes in, a slight lead so far for Forward Gaming, and Forev again going to get ran at here. It looks like Resolution throws out the hoof stomp, or rather, excuse me, Forev does, and Resolution chasing him down now. Couple more punches. Is he going to get into range for it? Yes, they do indeed.
Yeah, get that last hit, MSS. Get yourself your nice little arcane boots if you want. Or, I mean, he might go for different greedy items, but I did actually like that I saw the buying of the arcane boots again on the Rubik's. In comparison to the past, I was seeing like Yaps are going Yules every game. Yeah. It seems like because of the rise of the tri-lanes again, having this arcane boot just seems much more useful.
Yeah, so valuable. SVG takes some damage there, but he has the Frost Shield, and that pretty much stops all the pressure, and March has already used his dive, but with those spirits there, it looks like he's going to be able to force back MSS.
Forev's getting nothing up here, though. 6 last hits compared to 22-14, the Terrorblade that he's against. Getting levels, but now they're going to start making it to a full tri-lane. As, I mean, their dual lane bottom, yeah, Jug's getting free farm, but Tidehunter's getting plenty, so their dual lane bottom did not work. Maybe they should have moved Fear up here sooner.
Maybe trying to bait something out here, but the Inkswell does manage to find the stun onto this Terrorblade, and he's taking a lot of damage trying to walk away. Does have a Tango working, and they're able to kill off Forev, so well, that damage doesn't amount to much when he can just heal up afterwards. Salve used.
Had you chosen to live?
Yeah, I think maybe Fear should have came up a little bit sooner. The problem is that Jug doesn't want to be in a straight 1v1 versus like a Tidehunter, but they weren't actually able to shut down Universe, really. But yeah, definitely quite a bit of pressure as we do have those bounty runes coming out, and Forward is setting up to at least get 3 of them at the moment.
March doesn't have dive for 5 more seconds, so we won't be able to contest for that one. And it looks like Moo, a little bit late to the party for the other bounty as Universe picked that one up. But yeah, you know, I think a lot of people, they look at this matchup and they're saying, okay, you know, both 2 teams that are in the best of ones probably won't go far afterwards no matter what. But the thing to keep in mind about this Forward Gaming squad, they were in a group with LGD and Secret, and they took games off of them.
They did. And they've been, I mean, they've been looking like a team that's been kind of on the rise. They have some shaky games, but overall, like, they have really strong players.
Oh, life drain there.
Getting aggressive.
Dialed down to low HP.
They've got the rotations too already coming in. They want to put the pressure on with this catapult. 5 minutes in, they wanted to try to get a dive into some big tower pressure with Pugna, but rotations coming in.
Lifted up, but wasn't able to make anything of it. SVG is going to run into Fear here, maybe, although MSS also AFK for a moment. Bryle goes for the banishment. The Astral, Yawar moves into position. He has a life drain again in a second and able to turn it around with the Fade Bolt. MSS finds another lift up, trying to run away. March doesn't want to step too far forward as Yawar does have another Nether Blast. Can he find this kill? Banishment, the walk away. That does force Bryle far forward, and MSS will punch him a few times. Trouble.
Lots of movements coming out around that mid lane, that 5-minute mark, like we said, wanting to be able to put pressure. Good save there by the Astral. Protect his teammate. Yeah, Forward come out ahead again on that one. Early rotation is mid.
Thinking about going. find themselves this Pugna trying to take it off, and he's going to be able to get the kill onto UR. MSS moving forward, needs some more mana, pulls back the punch. Are they going to be able to find this kill? Needs another Fade Bolt, a couple more seconds, but doesn't have the mana.
You get the D ward out of it though, but yeah, good movement there coming in from Fear, TPing back in the mid lane. You get the setup. Haven't used the sanities to get the kill, but very needed for the OD.
They realized that that ward was up there when Fear canceled the Stroke of Fate also, and they realized that it wasn't going to hit, so just a little heads up play there, having the vision down at a time.
Not on my watch.
Even decrep there for the make sure he gets the last hit.
That's the worst when you're playing support and you're like, I really just want to get some last hits and something in the mid lane, and then the enemy mid laner just focuses absolutely everything on denies and just making you get nothing.
Yeah.
Support life.
Oh, the punch! Alright, well March gets him back for it.
It does seem that both teams are trying to farm a little bit. Looks like Lich is even just like pulling. Universe got sent back to base, and Resolution is being as efficient as he can be. Meta, hit Ancients. The best way to always use your meta.
Yeah. And it's relatively even between the Jug and the Terrorblade. Pugna a little bit ahead of the OD. And even at this point, it's kind of evened out between the Tidehunter and the Centaur as well. Yeah. So all in all, not too bad of a position for J-Storm coming out of this laning stage. So we do have level 6 on the Tidehunter. If there's any opportunity, might rotate in for a Ravage possibly, but certainly doesn't need to push the issue.
Yeah, forward have caught up so much because of that movement that happened, right? The supports from forward went to mid to try to set up for that 5-minute catapult wave, so then Terrorblade Resolution has to leave the lane, and that makes forward just full catch up on him.
While Moo might spot out SVG here, does have an Omni Slash available. The chase is coming, but doesn't want to fully commit for that one. That SVG's backs out. Another little usage there, trying to get another ward caught, and Forev gonna see if he can chase down MSS, who's been the beneficiary of all these kills. Will be a tasty prize for the Centaur.
I mean, that's a very big kill there. I mean, it's very rich. Rubik as well, playing very greedy, stepping up so far to try to get some extra experience in last hits by himself. As yeah, it's a farm game. I get the kill, but look at everybody on the map. We see Tidehunter's jungling, Terrorblade's jungling, OD's jungling, Grimstroke's pulling.
Classic
a bit of a slowdown. Yeah, a bit of a slowdown for NA Dota.
Oh. Again, Moo is here. Does still have that Omni Slash. They're going to use it on the Universe, and he just says, "See you later, nerds. I'm out of here."
Ooh. They even used the Stampede too. Not enough damage. That's 2 ultis committed. And he has Ravage when he comes back, when he wants to walk in. If they have meta too. So if they want to try to set up to just take like a fight around a tier 1, they are very, very strong on the side of forward right now.
Oh, nice play there by Fear, but isn't it enough? No! Able to take off that Phantom's Embrace and get the Sinister Gaze to break the TP. That is going to hurt, having to walk back to lane afterwards.
Oh, did they place another... Oh, I think they just put another mid ward in the same spot, and Yawar got a secondary D ward. So they've killed 2 wards down that mid lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Universe doesn't really have to fear that much in this lane anymore, at least until Omni Slash is back up, and you can see that this is one of the downsides to the J-Storm draft, is basically only 2 ways to cancel TPs right now, with the Hoof Stomp and the OD. Astral Imprisonment. Inkswell is not the most reliable in the world.
Yep. And they're setting up for something down bottom. I mean, Moo has stepped up very far by himself. The rotation from the supports are coming in. Like we said, Universe has Ravage.
Oh, and he just used Spin.
He pump faked it though, and Moo got the sense that something's up, and he's okay.
Oh, heads up play there from Moo. Sticks around a second longer, and he's dead.
As soon as he sees the pump fake, he's like, oh, people rotating.
Yeah.
They're trying to set up a kill on me.
Nice play. Well, meanwhile, Yawar keeps the pressure on this tower here.
Oh my god, that's the 3rd Obs Ward in a row that I've seen forward just take out in the matter of like 3 minutes, I think. 3 or 4 minutes. So J-Storm is going to be really limited on their vision. They have this 1 ward that's placed now in mid, but besides that, I don't really think they only have 1 more on somebody. Okay, they have 2 more placed. Wow, they've 3 wards or D ward early on. I guess they'd held on to some from earlier.
In the meantime, Moo just comes back into the lane. Tidehunter obviously can't really go on him with that healing ward down, and that's something that's going to need to be kept an eye on, is Forward obviously taking out that healing ward. They have a couple different heroes that can do it. Probably like a TB illusion would be the best.
That's probably the best, yeah. Easiest one to do so.
But with that healing ward down and Stampede later,
Tower is under attack.
will be some good get out of jail free cards if things go awry. But so far, MSS is able to take over this lane as the TB heads back to jungle, as we've seen so often after that Pugna takes the mid ward. Where do you want them to go next with this? Do they need to really sort of keep the pressure on anywhere, or are they comfortable just keeping on farming, getting Rezo big?
And they're fine with that. Like Rezo's game is in the jungle.
Yeah.
It's all about Yawar's movements as well as the supports and playing around like Ravage if they want to do so like that. Well, on J-Storm, I think they want to be a little bit faster in making these plays.
Oh, smoke down towards the bottom side. They're going to run into this Tide Hunter. You can see that's the place that Terrorblade's been. He's not here for this fight as Universe chased down by Bryle. They have the Astral, still Ravage available. Meanwhile, Bryle wanting to find that kill. Ravage turning, trying to fight, trying to kill. They already popped the Sun though in Yawar. He's caught there for the moment. The double Astral is forever went in for it. But they might come out right. No, after the stun, still so much damage out there as well. The Omni Slash, Yawar trying to live through it. It was a little bit sloppy from J-Storm, but they get the job done in the end, as this is going to be 4 heroes most likely dead. Stroke of Fate, SVG trying to run. I mean, he's eventually going to go down here.
Yeah.
Even throw the Ixwell on the creep, but big play there for J-Storm.
That was huge, even though that was a Centaur Blink reveal too. He's got a very early Blink dagger after that top lane not going the best. He recovered fantastically because he got the lane left to himself. And with these ultis, I mean, with the Phoenix and with that big rotation, they brought all 5, and yeah, Forward was not prepared for that at all. They don't have level 6 yet on the Lich, and it was Tidehunter who got initiated on. He got a Ravage off, it hit pretty decently, but they didn't have everybody there as the Ravage came off, and, I mean, Pugna got instantly killed. Gets jumped on and just dead. So one scary thing about Pugna versus like Centaur and these heroes that can just close the gap on you. The Phoenix.
So 5 to 6, a lot of those kills mean it's a big swing going back into the favor of J-Storm. It's recognizing the strength of this draft, and Bryle now, after finishing off the Kaya, going immediately into the BKB.
He needs, yeah, that's what we were saying, right? Versus Pugna, you need a BKB as fast as possible, so I do agree with this. Getting his own little one item first, and then prioritizing for the rest of the game team.
Dire's middle tower
Fear
is under
moves
attack.
over, does place down a ward, it looked like, right within vision, but it will be taken out by the Phoenix. We'll see if Forward are able to get that D-ward as Moo is up here. Top lane, a steal of Omni Slash, kind of garbage value for MSS.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not what it used to be great because it had the, you got a lot of damage out of it, but Rubik has such slow attack speed, you get like such slow actual hits out of it. It looks cool, you can TP while omniing as well, so you can save yourself with it or something, but...
Dire are scanning.
But yeah, look at this, J-Storm, they're just looking to make plays with this Centaur Blink Dagger. They know they can play this fast pace.
Yep, an immediate TP cancel as Forward realize, yeah, we can't take this fight.
Yeah.
So we'll lose the tier 2 tower.
Much harder for Forward to actually just straight up make plays, right? Looking at their lineup, they don't have a real initiator in comparison to what J-Storm has, which is a Blink Centaur. I mean, they've Tidehunter, but that's not the way Tide's played anymore. He's played with just like auras, and he walks to a position, and then you just take a fight around him. J-Storm has a lot of potential to just make ganks happen non-stop, and
Oh, SVG.
he just wants the bounties.
Give it to me.
Oh, Phoenix TPs.
Oh, March, he'll get there.
Oh,
And SVG, so you can
Make him work for it.
in here. Well, Frost Shield could go over and see if he can get the deny from the Ancients, but not going to happen. So that will be OD cleaning up that stack. And, well, with that time, you see Forward get some pretty good farm around the map. Resolution was able to farm out their entire jungle pretty much, and now has a Manta style done.
yeah, that's the biggest thing, right? It's like they got a great fight bottom J-Storm. They even got a nice pickup. They got some deep vision down, but they're not addressing the Terrorblade, who is having the time of his life in the jungle. They do have heroes that can deal with it, though. They have good lockdown, OD being one of the better ones where it sits well. Until BKB comes out, right? Like, eventually, that Terrorblade will get BKB, and then fights became a lot harder, but he wants to be as greedy as possible. Get Manta, get Scotty,
Yeah.
get your own greedy items first.
Maybe a Blink later could be good as well. Try and save yourself from Astral.
Yeah.
Or after Astral, I should say.
I'm looking to see if anyone's building something like Force Staves or just like anything like Glimmers, things to just save Pugna, pretty much. Just get some type of saving items, because he's probably going to get jumped at some point to MSS.
Oh, quick jump there, and he's gonna eat the dust. And
That ward.
SVG moving in. They want to try and see if they can get the return kill onto Moo, who is going to be showing in lane. They have the Sinister Gaze. Besides that, it's really hard to get the kill in the duration of that, but they have the Ravage to follow up afterwards. Don't decide to use it for Rev with the interrupt there. Now the spin onto SVG. They're moving in with March as well. That's just to force back forward.
They don't want to fight. Yeah, Rubik's dead. Rezo doesn't want to fight. Rezo wants to farm. Has no interest in joining his team.
So J-Storm going to move into the jungle now. Forward, just trying to make as much space as possible for that Terrorblade, but they've got to be wary.
They saw he used meta top. They just saw the illusions when he was pushing out the wave, so they know there's no meta if he does come down bottom.
And Universe is completely alone here, and they're going to find him the double edge. He's able to get the Kraken Shell off, trying to walk away. Jukes through the trees. That keeps him alive for the moment. The Ravage, the Astral catches, though, right on the edge and stealing away the Sage's Eclipse. That is going to be a dead Universe. Maybe they can find a counter kill here, though, as Yuar has shown up. Chainfrost only bounces once as Bryle brought down low, but not low enough. And Moo has also shown up. Now turns on Yuar. They kill off SVG, and J-Storm just outmaneuvering here for forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's J-Storm playing with 5 heroes and forward only playing with 4 this whole time. I mean, Rezo is literally playing his own game. Doesn't want to show up to any of these situations. In this situation, of course, you wouldn't without meta. But yeah, they're all just making space for him. But it seems like their game plan is for forward. Even if they're losing heroes, this is how they want to play, it seems.
I mean, heads-up play from J-Storm as well to recognize Metamorphosis popped. There is nothing that they can do to take this fight.
Yeah, and I saw the pings coming out. That's why I think it was. Yeah. I want to say it was either Fear or Moo that was pinging up in the top lane as soon as they saw the TB walk into the lane. So they go for the deep dives, even because they have the vision down there too, right? That's the area that that J-Storm wants to be playing around, is the enemy jungle, because that's where all their wards are.
And something else to mention is you've got a lot of play callers on this J-Storm team who are constantly keeping their eyes on the map, and very vocal players.
They do have a very vocal team. Even I mean, I didn't really know how much Milan is in the games, to be honest, but like with these guys, Bryo's probably the quiet one. I think March talks a lot. Fear says that he's like has his own calls in the game. Moo too. Forev, same thing. Definitely a vocal group. As they're looking to go into that Roche, they know that the Ravage was used in that previous fight. Same thing with Chainfrost down bottom.
60 seconds. I do feel like we haven't seen the full 5-on-5 yet, which we keep on reiterating from forward. So one resolution shows up. They need to be a lot more wary, J-Storm.
Yeah, I think Rezo wants to ideally get Scotty and then get his BKB and then show up. Because then he doesn't have to worry about the OD so much. Maybe he even goes even more greedy and goes for like Butterfly, because he already has so much stats to deal with the OD after the Scotty.
Right.
It seems like that might be the playstyle that they're going for.
I mean, keep in mind here that this is going to be still just a tier 1 tower taken in the bottom lane, and that's it for J-Storm. Meanwhile, forward have been able to take both the mid and the top, and they're even keeping the creeps pushed out against the bottom tier 1 tower. So as long as they can keep buying time, feels like they're at least somewhat comfortable with that.
I mean, they've kept the gold lead. Gold lead is theirs. Forward has gold lead and net worth lead is Universe. Experience lead is at 0.
Need to be careful here. There is a Ravage available. Soulbind onto 2. Chase forward for more. They have the Shrine available and already popping in resolution. As soon as he shows up, J-Storm leaves.
They just get the hell. They're like, oh god, he's here. He's joined the fray. I also believe they stole Stampede there too, so definitely a bit of a threat. That's a very useful ability, because on the side of forward, their catch can be a bit limited. But with this, maybe they can actually try to get something here.
Speaking of which, Bryle pop the BKB. What's going on, buddies? Now they're running away from the rest of J-Storm, but need to make sure they don't dive too deep, since that BKB is going to wear off soon, and Ravage still held.
No March dove in, though. Trying to force this Agate in a bad position.
The silence is still there. Yuar just jumps forwards and Dagons. And with that, J-Storm can't feel comfortable taking a fight.
No. BKB was used. OD can't fight without BKB versus Pugna. And yeah, Ravage is still available. Meta is now going to be wearing off. And back to the jungle. And it is going to be, okay, it is a 3rd item BKB. I thought maybe he's going to be really crazy and go for a B-Fly on top, but no. This is the way so he can actually join the fights and not be worried about dying to OD and getting controlled by Centaur and Fiend.
Dyer's
As far as the way
top
that these
is
team
under
fights end
attack.
up looking, I mean, as far as Lou is going to keep on trying to chase in there and just get on top of the Terrorblade or whoever he happens to fall on. Like, how important is the Stampede in these fights for J-Storm?
I mean, it's massive. It's anytime you're playing versus a hero like a Pugna Sniper, these heroes that just want to sit in the back lines, it's your biggest thing. Because if you can get them and take them out of the fight, a lot of the damage is gone.
Dyer's top tower is
Oh,
under attack.
Tier 1 tower being assaulted.
You see Mu is going back for a Battle Fury, by the way, after the Manta.
Yeah.
So wanting to be able to keep up that farm, keep up that pace versus the Tower Blade, and, I mean, the Cleave versus the Illusions, of course.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
So J-Storm bring 5 to the mid lane, take down that Tier 1 tower. Resolution continues to farm.
He's just getting so big. I mean, he's 4,000 gold ahead of the Juggernaut and the OD.
Kid farms.
Yeah. So they're looking to threaten the rush. Meta's down still for 30 more seconds, but Forward does have everything else.
And they know that they're in here. Illusion gets sent in. Pugna is a little far away, but could TP if he needs to, or can just go for the walk. Universe.
This isn't the fastest rush by any means by J-Storm either. They only really have right clicks coming up from the Juggernaut. They have no minus armor or any amplification on that rush.
You have to be so careful fighting into Ravage, but likewise, March with the Supernova can make a big turn in this as well.
It is only a level 1 Supernova though, so very easy to kill if they don't have a follow-up disable coming up from the Centaur.
I mean, and they should know that Roche is still being taken. J-Storm have not left this area. We're not seeing any Illusions walk in, though.
I think they know also that they kill pretty slow.
Moving in with Tidehunter. Universe, if he walks into the pit, he's basically committed at that point. You could even at this point just Astral him if Bryle happens to show up. So Universe walks into position, trying to find that opening. He has Ravage available with the Blade Fury, though. It's a little bit scary walking into it. The Deep Crab trying to get it off in time. No, but they blow up Universe. He doesn't have buyback. All right, it might still be enough to force him back to his Yawar gets a double kill. Able to fill off Barev afterwards, and now Resolution just walks into the pit.
Dyer's bottom tower.
The Netherward doing work. They're killing March before he's able to do anything. Now he gets the egg on the high ground, but
way out on the outside. They jump in with Barev, find the stun, able to steal away the Aegis. Barev, a play and a half, and now the banishment. But Mamazets, he jumps in with the hook stuff, able to interrupt Resolution, couldn't get the Sunder off, and now they need to walk away. They need to get out of here. Though TB means it's no fight at all. Yawar does kill off that Supernova Phoenix, but it looks like he might end up paying the price as well. So 3 goes down, and MSS jumps back in. It's not enough. He's able to find the 1 kill onto Mu. That's huge. But now, can they find any more? Universe walks in, wants to kill off Fear. MSS is saving this day. My God.
oh my, those hoof stomps, that salvaged like almost a disaster. They're coming in from MSS. Whoa. That was nicely done there by him. And man, the thing that is really actually bugging Universe a lot is really this Grimstroke. This Phantom's Embrace. He's having a hard time getting it off himself, because that's really what's screwing him over in the fights. Like that last time, he could have gotten a Ravage up, but no, he can't because he's Phantom's Embrace, and he can't really hit it.
Certainly not the most attack speed in the world, and yeah, that is incredibly tough to deal with.
He has to prioritize it now. Like he has phase boot, so he does have some. He has to be able to try to turn and hit it though, because it's being a huge problem for him. But yeah, that looked like it was going to be really bad for Forward, and then ends up being kind of an even split, and we are continuing this even game.
I mean, Forev still has the Aegis. Certainly, you would have loved to get it on maybe the OD.
Yeah.
But considering he's a hero that just goes in at the start, you know, hoof stomp, double edge. If he ends up dying even now, it's not the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah.
But where do we stand now? I mean, I guess that it's just Terrorblade who's still ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty even. Oh, they might get a kill out of this though here.
Yeah. Stomp forward, SVG. They are TPing in, but it was never going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like I say even just because like J-Storm they got the Aegis and they killed this, but they also lost their Jug and MS got really rich, so it's like they have an Aegis, but it's not on like their hero that they wanted. Like,
yeah. Well, the glyph used there for the tier 1 tower. We'll see if the Terrorblade Illusions. Oh, hoof stomp again, finding another MSS with the Litho, trying to interrupt Yawar. There's going to be the Dagon and also the Life Drain, the follow-up, trying to kill off this big tanky Centaur. They will finally take him, but now that burn coming from the Phoenix, and Rev just going to have to back out and go for the turnaround there on the Pugna.
Yawar down to 40 HP, almost actually taken out because of that. Resolution now has the big item though. So that last situation where he got controlled, gets stunned in the pit, now he will have a BKB to be able to actually just get into the midst of everything and fight versus this OD and not be too concerned about himself. And he has ways to stick on targets because he has the Scotty first, so even though there's a BKB that gets popped by OD, he can stick. Jug spins. It's the thing.
26 minutes, back to just about even.
This is such an incredible... Like, it's never gone over 2k gold lead or 2k experience lead in 26 minutes. That's something you don't really see happen too much.
No. Well, and maybe a testament to how well these teams know each other, too, that they've been playing, I'm sure, scrims together, and obviously in the qualifiers having to face off against each other a couple times. Bryle just barely passes by MSS, and he will be punished this time around. We'll have a lift when he comes out of it, but very difficult to get anything off as he just dies.
Yep. And all these kills matter, like we were saying in the even game.
Yeah.
Actually gives so much. Like XP change, 1600.
I mean, MSS has been farmed.
He is. I mean, he just got a huge kill, a solo kill, well, solo experience and gold when he killed that Jug. So he's up to level 15 on the Rubik, while Tidehunter is level 13.
Yeah.
So that's just to play that one.
I guess I'm just sort of looking at the net worth here, and March and SVG feel like a similar style of player.
Yeah.
Sitting bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, you see Fear is very farmed though on this Grimstroke. Veil plus his Aether Lens GPM talents. Even now has a gem too, so map control continuing to be pretty good for J-Storm, especially in the bottom side of the map. That's like where they've been mostly focused.
So the tier 2 tower possibly gonna be assaulted in the top lane by Forward Gaming, and Fear keeps that pressure out. They will take it. You are. Finishes off with the Nether Blast. Continuing to level up that Dagon.
Yeah. I mean, he's got his Blink Dagger. Does anyone have a save item for him, though? I don't see anybody. No, nobody's building one for him. No one's building any Force Staffs or any Blunderers or anything. MSS wants his Aghanims. Because if he can steal... If he can get, like, Stampede, it's probably one of the best ones, but...
Astral's not bad either. You know, double
double Astral. It's pretty good. I'd say it's the damage mitigation though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
They've got, if he's ever able to steal that, those are the frequency of spells, but going for more of a greedy style. Like this is, some teams you see go for more team play. These guys are going more for themselves.
Resolution getting close to that level 20 talent.
Yeah, level 20 plus Butterfly. I think this could be a stat game, just because he's versus OD. Reflection is amazing. Absolutely amazing versus Juggernaut, but he has ways to remove it twice-fold because of Manta and Spin.
Bryle shows himself in this bottom lane, does have BKB still. They have a couple of forms of hard disable, but they need to find him first, and as soon as they reveal on the creep wave there, Bryle is going to continue to head north, TP out, and that smoke is not going to bear fruit.
Race to the Butterfly is this one. Moo is a little bit behind the Terrorblade on that Butterfly, and this Butterfly on Resolution is going to be absolutely huge, because versus Juggernaut, of course, no MKB, and OD, not an MKB builder. So, yeah, Evasion just the best thing in the game versus OD, or one of them.
Granted, you still do have, like, Sanity's Eclipse, so it can be pretty nice if you start building up that int, but it's not necessarily a guaranteed thing. And I guess the other thing to talk about there is going to be the mana burn, and making sure that the TB can get Sunder off.
Yeah. He's got the BKB though, right? And he does have a lot of stats. I'm waiting to see if he does. I'm pretty sure this is a 10-stat game. Because just as many stats as possible versus OD so you don't get destroyed by Sanity.
Right. So we are going to see the constant pressure.
Okay.
You know what's up.
Yeah, I mean, I figured in this type of game, like we were saying, there's too many ways to remove it. And
oh, Resolution. Kind of bold there, walking over and picking up both of those.
Finishes up his B-Fly as well and picks up both bounties. And there's a DD top. All right, this could be the game changer. He's also still, I mean, he's still 6,000 gold ahead of the next two, but...
Yeah, this is nuts. Resolution just so farmed, and the creep wave is already pushing towards mid. It feels like all of the stars are kind of aligning here in this moment. Roche is going to respawn in potentially 45 seconds, probably a little bit more than that. Depends on the timer.
They also have Universe with the Blink Dagger, so we were talking about how most people, you don't really see the blinks on the tides too much. Now they have a form of initiation, a form to start the fight. And they do a lot of damage on the side of forward still. Yeah. That being said, though, J-Storm, they've actually able to claim themselves a gold lead, and they at least have 2 carries farming pretty significantly. Not to say like Yawar is completely out of it, but he's not farming nearly at the same pace as the OD or the Juggernaut or the Terrible.
It's just a different style, right? It feels like Yawar was that one that ran around and made things happen, while Resolution just chilled, and now it's Resolution with the DD. He had it bottled up. They force out the Glyph. A 4-man smoke up right now while Juggernaut is pushing in that bottom lane.
Double catapults too. This is...
Oh, jump in. BKB reactions coming from Resolution. So pretty. They're so binded together, but that's Universal Resolution. I don't think they care. March gets clipped down, and they force out that buyback. Didn't pick up the gem.
MSS stole Stampede again. He doesn't have the Aghanims just yet, but still a very strong tool. They only really had to commit the BKB just now. And still have Ravage.
Yeah, the double catapult, it makes them feel like they need to go back and defend against this. They would have loved to be able to just stick around, but can't quite do it against that. And looks like the Roche timer is going to be a relatively middle-of-the-road one, 2.5 minutes roughly, before it respawns. As forward back out, take the tier 3, they can set their sights on shrines if they want, and that would be huge for the Roche fight.
Yeah. Or have had to use buyback though, so that can definitely be concerning in the next upcoming fights, especially when it's going to be a Roche fight, right? One of the biggest things that teams talk about now is when you're taking Roche fights, it's before the Roche fight happens is, do we have buyback? Who has buyback?
Right.
Who's going to throw their life away and then buy back and force spells on themselves? The 4Ev will not have it.
Has the sheep stick though.
They do have the sheep on Bryle. Yeah, he's very strong. He's actually also gone for this 20 strength in this game rather than going for the Sanities multiplier that we've been seeing a lot. So he wants to go for his own tank ability.
And we saw why in that last fight. He just got chunked apart. The butterfly is done now for Moo. Hasn't been able to be the biggest damage dealer in the world as of yet, like we talked about. But he'll eventually be going into that MKB, I would imagine, as J-Storm just keep a couple in the pit, but they're going to be sitting there for a little bit over a minute.
Both teams are playing in this area, though.
Yeah.
It's all about this next Roshan.
I mean, if you're forward, it feels like one of those moves where you could maybe try and wrap around and see if you could take out that shrine. Oh, God.
He doesn't have meta. I think that's what they're kind of waiting for. I don't think they want to make an aggressive play until that happens. And he pretty much has a Linken's finish too. Linken's in this game, we were talking about how important the stats are versus OD. He's going to have even more stats. He's going to have a way to block the Hex.
I mean, this is going to be 2 items up, basically. And Forev could go for the initiation there. Got to be careful. Slow down a little bit. They don't have MSS in this fight.
They don't have like a blink hex though, right? Like Bryle has a hex, but if you blink and you try to go for a blink stomp, a lot of times those Terrorblades will get their BKBs off because of the animation.
Trying to force something here. Rubik has been pushing in that bottom lane, and we'll have a full creep wave on it as forward find themselves illusion versus illusion there for a minute, but Rezo will send in his. Roche is still not respawning, and he finishes off the Lincolns.
He's on pretty much 6-slotted now, and they still have Stampede stalling this whole time for the chase and for the disengage.
Another DD spawns here in the bottom lane.
My God.
Oh man, that is what forward want to see.
That is some good luck. Glyph is on cooldown too. It looks like they maybe just make J-Storm take a choice. Yeah, Roche might be spawning, but let's just knock on your high ground.
I mean, this is going to be so much damage.
There's no Glyph. They're going to walk up. This Terrorblade is going to be hitting. Look at his damage. Ready?
I mean, this is a huge problem for J-Storm. They need to TP back immediately, but if they don't bring everybody, then Roche might be able to get picked up for free. So Resolution focusing on this melee barracks. He doesn't want to get hit by the Sunray. Forev is going to come back as well. He said Stampede, they jump in the Ravage! They find one already. Can they blow him up in time though? Not quite there. March doesn't go down, so this Ravage does absolutely nothing.
They got to disengage full.
They need to get the hell out of here. The chase forward, Bryle. They brink the Hex. They're able to find it. They're taking him down with the decrep. Oh my God, the living through it. Such a big play. They're coming in from Yawar right when they needed it most. The Supernova is going to connect, but they do bring him down low. Resolution will have the Sunder afterwards, trying to stay alive. It doesn't happen. They take him down, and Universe to fall as well. 4 die from forward.
Wow, that was very close to being a huge turnaround, but the egg actually connecting on pretty much everybody, and they get the chain stun afterwards from 4F before the Sunder can come out. They weren't able to actually kill the Phoenix. I don't know.
It looked like he might have been decrept or so. I wasn't sure.
I think he got decrept, right? I think so. I saw disarmed over his head, so yeah, I think he was decrept, and they couldn't actually focus fire him, so... Oh, Yawar making a bit of a mistake there. When
the later decrypt is so good.
The later one was so good, but the one before, they still get the racks really fast, but not able to get the disengage. Now, J-Storm, they get a Roche.
Decrypt giveth, decrypt taketh away. And yeah, you can see March, the fact that he lives there does make all the difference in the world. And of course, the TB in the end, not able to get that Sunder off. I mean, it looked for a second like he might have been able to if he would have focused one of the other targets, but tough stuff indeed.
Yeah.
Now, 5,000 gold lead for J-Storm, Aegis in hand. Gotta wonder, what do you do at this point? You're forward gaming.
Radiant's middle
Don't get caught right now trying to defend. Be very careful here as they are going to play aggressive even if they don't have their sanity.
I mean, they don't have
they're all respawned.
meta. Okay.
Yeah, they're all backing out now.
Meta and Ravage are coming off cooldown in roughly 30 seconds for both of them.
Yeah, J-Storm doesn't, I mean, they don't really feel the need to force now. They just got Aegis Cheese. They have a significant amount of gold that they can use to pick up some big items.
They have the Aghanim Scepter done on the Rubik, and getting that soon finished on Centaur make a pretty big difference as well.
I mean, they just picked up so much. Like March was, we were talking about how March was very squishy, like quite a bit ago. Just hit level 16 because of those last few fights. Like we were mentioning how experience and gold were very even too. Gold says 6K. Look at that experience after those last situations. Is the biggest thing. 20,000. So the levels on the side of J-Storm really catapulted forward, and they're getting so much tankier because of it now.
Yeah, that makes all the difference in the world. And
yeah, March has 2,600 health on a Phoenix now.
Radiant's top tower
with a
is
Glimmer
under
Cape.
With a Glimmer Cape, so much harder to bring down.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Well, 13 to 21, and now you kind of need to play that stall it out type of mode, it feels like. I mean, you still have an incredibly farmed Terrorblade, about 5,000 gold ahead of the next highest.
But it is him, and then you see a lot of those, a lot of those dire heroes in between. It's like, yeah, there's a Pugna in between there, but then it's a Grimstroke. I mean, Grimstroke with nearly the same net worth as a Pugna, and then a Centaur right afterwards, and then the rest of your heroes. So J-Storm, they have a better spread of gold, and yeah, it's making differences. Yeah, Fear is even going for Dagon. He's queued up a Dagon.
Love to see it.
Dagon on Grimstroke.
Why not?
Dagon plus Veil, I mean, double Dagon. Exactly. His Soulbinds have been, I mean, we were talking about he didn't have, like, the best things to combo with it. He actually hasn't had to, really. He's just been getting really good Soulbinds.
Ferev, they steal Stampede, which, oh no, they still retaliate. Great play there from Ferev. It will still come at the cost of his life.
And they get the gem out of that.
I mean, it was a nice thought. They don't steal Stampede at least, but...
He is dead for quite a while now.
And
Ryle looks like he wants to try to do something here.
This is very bold. Chase forward. Now, this on for the moment. Fear jumps in. The Omni Slash, damn it! He killed them all! Move, but Resolution, can he do it? It's him against the world right now, and he's doing a pretty good show of it as he burns through that Aegis. They buy back on the Pugna, trying to force move back. They could maybe kill off that Healing Word of the Illusion. They're going to Astral for himself, and now the move forward. The Inkswell there as well. They're trying to burn through him. Can they kill him up? Time of the life drain. You are able to save his buddy's life, and there's going to be the Sunder. The walk forward, trying to find that kill. Stealing the Healing Word, can give that over to his team as MSS jumps forward, tries to kill Bryle. Isn't quite gonna happen. He gets the spin, but there's gonna be Moo trying to find the kill. Can they bring him down? The Butterfly misses, but the jump forward and Yawar will claim his prize. Whew.
That was looking very, very good for J-Storm, but a buyback from Yawar and then being able to fight on top of their shrine pretty much makes the difference there. Rezo able to do a crazy amount of damage in that fight. Top it with that Pugna. We don't actually see the whole damage. It was too long of a fight.
Yeah. And it did cost those buybacks, of course. You have two of them used, both MSS as well as Yawar. God, that Omni Slash damage, though, that was insane.
Yeah, I mean, late game Omni is ridiculous, and that's also him not spending money on an item that would make him do more damage. Moo went for Boots of Travel and then has 5k gold in his bank on the Juggernaut, so...
That's insane. They do want to try and force out this buyback, if at all possible. Resolution, still 50 seconds until the Juggernaut respawns, and they have already gotten a good bit of damage onto this melee barracks. Looks like they might be able to force this out here as he keeps on punching, and the barracks is down.
That's two, I mean, they've gotten 2 melee racks and they're 6k gold behind.
They're making it happen.
They definitely are. They're making very, very nice moves, and Moo really wanted to hold on to buyback.
Yeah. Very impressed with J-Storm's constant making sure that they don't give up some of these spells also. Keeps on being Equilibrium that gets passed over to MSS.
They have, I mean, the big three, right, have great ways of covering their abilities. Like OD has Equilibrium, Centaur has Retaliate, Phoenix has Fire Spirit.
Yep.
So, definitely good ways to cover their ultimates when they use them. But I mean, Razo got Rezo was at, I think, like 1,600 gold before that fight started on the Terrorblade, and he's at 7,000 gold now.
What a monster.
So got a very significant amount of gold on. SES meta available in forward. Even though they're behind in net worth, it feels like they still have a great way to be able to take fights. Just because of how insanely strong this TB is. And Fear's actually switched.
Okay.
He's going to have double Hex instead, so... That's also, that's probably the better choice in this game. They need the control. Even if there's a Linken's on Rezo, we've seen they've done a pretty good job of like throwing an Astral to break it and then using the Hex.
I mean, you look at all of this illusion spam, and how much damage is just being done to this tier 3 tower. They're behind over 20,000 in experience, 5,000 in net worth, and they're still putting pressure on J-Storm constantly. It's just the pressure of what a Terrorblade provides you in this game. It's so hard to deal with.
And these two catapults are killing the tower. They're not hitting it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, near forefront of your thought is going to be the Terrorblade illusions, but with nothing ventured, they're able to get so much damage onto that tower.
Yeah. And, I mean, was that just another double damage, I believe?
Yes, it was.
Oh, look at that. Another DD for Rezo. Also going to be hitting level 25 too. Also can finish up at full Daedalus, so his damage is going to be through the roof. And they have momentum coming. I mean, mid lane and bottom lane are going to be pushing in constantly, so they can look to get wards out and look to take fights on the side of forward.
He's an 11,000 net worth ahead of the next highest. He has over 300 last hits over the next highest. Resolution is this indomitable monster.
That's the way they played. That's the whole way that they played for Rezo in this game. The first like 15 minutes, he was not part of the team.
Lift up, pulling back in onto one. The Ravage is going to be there as well. They bring him down super low. Bryo, he gets off the Astral Imprisonment, saving his life at the moment. Brev also there as well. They're able to steal Stampede yet again. And this is the damage mitigation. Turning now onto that egg. They need to blow it up. They're missing from the high ground, but they do eventually kill it off. But Moo claims his prize, takes down Yawar, and now turning onto Moo. Are they going to be able to blow him up in time? The healing ward, it's surviving through it. They do finally bring that one down, and now MSS spinning forward, trying to kill off Bryo, and they will get that kill coming from Resolution as Moo eventually able to find his way out of that fight. MSS takes off that Phantom's Embrace, but can't quite get into range for Fear. Forward and Resolution are just too difficult to deal with.
They get the initiation. They got the jump onto J-Storm, and again, it's a DD Terrorblade for the third time. It seems like in like 3 fights in a row, he's able to find that one.
He takes the Metamorphosis range.
Yeah.
And now they force out the buybacks. J-Storm are still leading in net worth, and so much damage is being done to the base that they actually can't stop this, it feels like. Moo takes off that reflection. The movement forward, though, look how much damage he does. The chase forward coming. They want to bring him down, and they actually kill him off. No help, no save, no nothing. Terrorblade's done.
Oh, the rest of them are going to get out, costing them 2 buybacks to get the kill. The rest do escape. And structural damage has been done earlier.
And the lanes, I mean, that is one of the things. He's almost playing it like the TB in a way, where he just keeps all of those lanes constantly pressured out with his illusions.
Yep.
And that could become a problem if J-Storm are able to just walk down one of these lanes. 60 seconds, no, he does have buyback available. And Roche respawning in just over a minute.
The real big thing is really watching out, like you mentioned in the last fight. It's watch out for those Stampede steals. Like we mentioned a lot of times, Stampede steal plus the Frost Shield. This is just straight damage mitigation versus a Juggernaut.
TB does finish off that Daedalus now. Did not have it in that last fight. And this is J-Storm walking up to high ground. You don't want to have to buy back here if you are that Terrorblade, but J-Storm putting so much pressure on. Might have to give up something. At least the tier 3, it feels like.
Frost Shield's so good at defending, though.
It is. And wanted to go in for the anchor smash. Wasn't quite able to get it there on the Tidehunter. Moo continuing to move forward. They have everybody up front and center. They do use that glyph. They want to keep this barracks alive if they can make it happen. But of course, also don't want to have to overcommit. The decrypt, everything that they can do to slow down this push. Maybe if they can force the fight afterwards, they take the melee, they want to chase this one down. The Chain Frost slowing down March a little bit, but they won't overcommit, it feels like. Terrorblade is alive, didn't have to use the buyback. They're gonna have to give that one up, it looks like.
Yeah, they want to chase, but they don't want to chase into a high ground.
Yeah.
Always the fear is these high grounds lately, especially, and they're pinging it out, they know.
Oh, smoke.
Maybe they're going to go for a full wrap.
I mean, at Terrorblade right now, they realize they're smoked up behind them.
They're going to go for this full wrap. There's an Arcane Rune top as well.
It's dangerous.
Oh, they're claiming themselves a high ground maybe here.
This is big. Forev, the one that gets initiated on, they're going to Stampede immediately and now trying to run away. This does give up what's happening, but now Stampede used as well as Soulbind.
Yep.
And they're moving forward. They're actually going to be able to push in towards these barracks. J-Storm have to come back and defend.
They're running directly at Moo. Moo needs to be careful here.
Dire's bottom shrine.
TP'd into this one.
He is speedy though.
And he does have a TP available afterwards. Obviously, using those boots of travel, he can spin TP to get away. Good play there from Moo to kill the creep wave and still get back to defend.
Rezo's meta is only got a quarter left on it too, so they're trying to get as much as possible out of it, but there's a glyph available for J-Storm.
Lich very far away. Kind of their main source of save on this team, and it looks like they're going to back up and head towards the pit. But again, it's tough to move in there when you don't have Metamorphosis, and J-Storm can come and contest.
Yeah, still does a crazy amount of damage to Daedalus, and with Vlad's he's got the sustain, but do they have a gem on their side? They do. MSS has one, so I think you want to check out the high grounds, get rid of that vision, make sure that you're not playing where J-Storm sees you. This one's still up there. I do think that they should... They knew that they were all there, so they're like, there's definitely vision there if they're positioned on the high ground there.
Yeah. Into the pit, at least to check. Forev goes. They send out the illusion.
Forward is placed immediately, so they do see. Forward does see the Centaur. And they do have their own saves. You know, we were talking about saves from earlier. SVG did finally... He had it for a bit now, but he did complete that.
Yeah. Moo stuns the Roche as he heads in. This is fallen very quickly, and sending in those illusions, they're going to need to react rather rapidly.
How long on meta? Still 50 seconds on meta. He could buy a full refresher. He has the money. He's got it queued up as well on the TB, but...
This is really scary. Illusion Rune going to spawn, taking down Roshan, and they're going to use the reflection just to kill off those illusions. Universe can walk into this. The bash from Roche. Oh, it's a scary, tense time here. Obviously, if you jump in and you ravage, there's a chance for a save coming from Bryle.
Dire's bottom
They're moving in with everybody. March in the back side of it, so that way he can get up as well. There's the jump forward. He's able to get on to absolutely everybody. They have the Supernova on top of him. Resolution. He doesn't stand a chance there. Hex. Follow-up dead. They got him caught. The buyback immediately comes from Universe. He needs to walk away from this one, but he's already dead as well. They have another buyback, but if they use all of them, they might end up dying if they lose anybody else at this point. The fear, the pullback onto Forev, the hoof stomp, and now they'll walk away. And meanwhile, this whole time they're trying to go back in and force down Roach. See if they can get it before the rest of Forward can respond. They take down Roach, and they're able to get the Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher, and possibly get out. Heads up play there from J-Storm, and Forev just buying time.
Forev, the madman, he went in... That wasn't blind. He only had like a little bit of vision from the illusion left for a second.
And now they have caught Bryle, and this man has the Aegis still, and they take him down. Now Soulbind onto 2, the Hex onto 2, the chase forward. Can they do this though? Bryle pops the refresher, and now turning to fight. They've lost the Lich. If they lose any more at this point, it could be tragic. Resolution though pops out of this one. The spin and Moo trying to walk away. He's slowed down by the Scotty, and you are the rest of Forward chasing to pull him back in. The Force Staff trying to save. Moo running away. The take on trying Samantha to get out of it, and Forev with a big hook stomp able to walk away. They just want to get away right now, J-Storm, and it looks like it's going to happen.
Oh my god, these fights are crazy. MSS with the, I think that was his Astral, right? Astral play on Rezo as he gets nullified, saving him for a bit, but J-Storm are all able to just disengage these Force Staves, all these little things, and yeah, 19,000 gold lead, 25,000 experience lead. J-Storm, what do they still have? Which items did they actually keep out of all that, though? They
use the Refresher Shard.
They use Refresher, they have Cheese. I think that's it remaining.
It's crazy that for all of that, we're basically back to where we were before. I guess the 5 buybacks, though.
The buybacks are the big thing, yeah. It's...
Oh my god,
Jug has buyback and Boots of Travel to be able to come back into fight after, if he does die. They can play very aggressive on Moo and just go in to start something well. Yeah, Forward. They've got no buybacks whatsoever. They do have the Refresher. So meta was used before, and J-Storm probably have a feeling that there's no meta, but Refresher Orb can chase that on Terrorblade.
Yeah, we'll see if he decides to just pop that and maybe hide the Refresher. We'll see what his decision is.
I think he's waiting as long as possible to see if he needs to. He seemed like kind of sitting in the fountain, just sending illusions.
Yeah. Oh, right, so they would have seen the illusions already then, too. So they're going to know about the Refresher.
Yeah, I mean, they click on it, they should see it, yep.
But the bottom lane is where the pressure is going to go onto this tier 3 tower, and Mu already claiming it. Again, a lot of structural damage done by Ford. It felt like they were in control despite being behind, but now they're a lot further behind. And with the Frost Shield, Dagon onto Mu, the heal coming from March. How can you take this fight at this point? It's just so hard when you know you don't have the buybacks, even so close to your base.
There's 20 seconds till meta too. He really doesn't want to use his refresher orb before having the first one.
The smoke up as 5. Jace Storm ready to go for another round. One last set of racks, one more tier 3 tower. Likewise, if you look at forward, they have taken both of the other sets of barracks.
Yeah. They're playing this, like, the positioning is so good here from J-Storm. Look how they're just all split up. Like, Bryle and March are standing on top of each other, but Fear's all the way positioned on the right, and it's only Mu really walking up at all on that high ground as this Jug, because he knows he's safe to do this.
The long duration decrep afterwards. The reflection doing a good bit of damage. Venom's Embrace onto Tidehunter, Soulbind onto 2. They're thinking about fighting here. Mu, they jump forward. BKB though in the reaction coming from Forev. They go out with the Stampede, damage mitigation already there. They're gonna just kill off the egg.
It was way too far forward.
March. Rare flub so far in him in this game, and the decrep, the slow, they're going to buy back on the Phoenix, try and get him into this fight, but there's not really anywhere to TP to. Bryle slowed down that Metamorphosis attack range, so they're going to try and chase him down into the trees.
That was the refresher orb used, though, for the second BKB on red zone.
Universe pops the Ravage, they find Bryle, he's dead. Does have buyback, but he's gone for 2 minutes. So they find themselves at least one, and it looks like Mu is going to be also able to escape.
Able to hold that last set of racks, so we have what? Just 2 racks is left on both sides now.
I mean, you can feel it right now. Best of 1, 2 NA teams. They've fought against each other in the qualifiers for this event. Both of them not giving up an inch.
Now MSS, like you said, the Astral. He's got the saves. He's got the double saves because he has the Aghanims too. So we could see that actually play a factor if he's able to like protect resolution in some of these situations. See, Universe has also queued up a Halberd, one of the better items versus the OD. So if they're able to ever get those could be pretty significant versus the side of J-Stone. But we're gonna have to just keep eyes majorly on the buybacks for the next 3 minutes or so.
Well, and you think about the way that this game is going to continue to look going forward, and Resolution can keep those bottom lanes pushed out. They're at equilibrium because both have taken a lane of racks, but the difference maker is the Conjure Image, and obviously you can send out illusions with the Manta Style from Jug, but not as quickly as Rezo will be able to.
Yeah, I guess the one nice thing that Mu has is because he has Boots of Travel, right? He can Boots of Travel to the waves and deal with the illusion, then TP back. I mean, that's pretty neat.
I mean, Terrorblade's going bootless right now.
Yep. Kind of has to just be that turret in this game. Has decent movement speed. Anyway,
yeah.
406. Edgy heroes.
Can't flutter anymore, but that's fine.
Yeah. I didn't know that actually at some point, like right when they changed it. I kept clicking and I was like, why am I fluttering? I felt pretty foolish.
It happens.
I'm a support player. Support players fly butterfly.
You do, there's something going wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, still just looking at those buybacks for a bit here as Bryle will be respawning finally in about 10 seconds. And man, Fear, we were talking about how farmed he was, but it just keeps going.
Yes.
This is like 6 slotted Grimstroke in a second.
Refresher.
Yeah. Hex 4 people.
That's pretty insane.
He could actually hex 4 people if he's able to get it off. Exactly, but that's pretty unlikely. But he's still incredibly farmed, and he's done a great job of sitting in the backlines. He's only got 2 deaths so far in this game, and his soulbinds have honestly been like really on point.
Yeah, definitely. Has been showing up, and we're getting closer to level 25s, a rare thing that we haven't been able to talk about all that much.
It's true.
That Metamorphosis attack range, it took the 600 health for Juggernaut. Still a little ways away from the Phoenixes, but probably the next one to hit it might be maybe the Rubik. We'll see how it goes.
Well, it depends on like the next fight, right? Phoenix, there's a lot of people everyone's pretty much close to 25, except for, I think SVG is the furthest, level 19.
Radiant's bottom shrine.
It's close to 20.
Close to 20. 20, they're incredibly significant on the side of Lich. Like the 20 and 25, these Frost Shield talents are insane.
It does,
absolutely insane.
I mean, it does feel like Tomes could be really value there for him if this game keeps on going on.
Yeah, I mean, 8-second 8-second Frost Shield. It has more than a 50% uptime then.
And then the 60 HP regen on it also.
Heals for 480 on buildings.
So the smoke up coming from Forward Gaming, they might just try to bulldoze down this lane. If Storm aren't there, could be a problem. They do have a glyph.
I'm just holding buybacks. I was just waiting to see because we've got like 13 seconds for Pugna, 12 for Rubik. They're all starting to come back up right now.
The only one that isn't is going to be March on this Phoenix.
Yep.
And I think that maybe that idea behind that Supernova at that point was like, all right, let's just send it in there and then let people beat on the barracks.
It did actually kind of seem like it, yeah.
But nonetheless, mega creeps are what both of these teams are after.
Elimination game, right? This is where you're going to see teams like, especially at this type of point where late game is absolutely the most hectic thing possible between crazy amounts of team fight and Grimstrokes being in the midst. Both teams are being a bit cautious here, waiting for their buybacks.
9,000 gold on this Terrorblade right now. Eyeing up those boots of travel. Could go towards a Moon Shard soon as well. Juggernaut has 10k in the bank right now. I mean, everybody is just so farmed.
Yeah, absolutely rich. DD inside of the Juggernaut's bottle. Very important.
Thinking about getting here onto this shrine, but don't look now. They've got vision in the area on Forward. They see Moo. They see everybody else behind them too, and looks like they're not going to be able to get on top of that shrine in time. But now maybe with J-Storm a little bit separated, they could think about going for this. Resolution's going to reveal himself in just a second. March moving forward as well. The rest of Forward sitting behind him.
Neither side wants to play around the other side's vision advantage. It's like up north a little bit was J-Storm with that ward on the high ground and Sentry. Down a little south a little bit, Forward has that one. So both sides just like, vision is way too important in these next upcoming team fights in the late game.
Yeah. Makes all the difference in the world.
The DD Jug with that Vlad's Aura, of course, from March. Full sustain. Kills this Roche so fast. 1,300 crits.
And that one does not look like it's going to be scouted out by Forward, so they're going to have to play back again. And big win here for J-Storm. Refresher, as well as Aegis and Cheese.
Oh, one of the scarier ones to always play against is the OD. The double sanity is just delete everybody.
And the double hex, I mean, with Soulbind that can come out also on top of that. You were talking about it earlier. He has that refresher. If you start Soulbinding people together,
these next few fights are going to be so chaotic. Oh my god, this is going to be so hard to keep track of
We'll
everything.
try our best.
I'm going to try really hard to keep track of like whose Astral is whose.
I know.
Whose hex, whose quad hex is going on. All right.
First time this event for the Grimstroke. Probably the first time.
First time we've had a 58-minute game at this event, I think, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not in the other groups. We didn't get to see all the groups, but this is one of the longer ones that, if not the longest one that we've had here on our stream. As, Battle might be able to take away here. Remember, he just cheese refresher.
It's so dangerous. From Forward, they're underneath the vision right now. J-Storm wanting to get that opening right there, and Forward are going to back out. Again, you lose one fight in emphatic fashion, and it could just be your base. Granted, everybody has buyback now, except for March.
He's got the gold. Just one more minute, yep. Moonshard was picked up during that little skirmish, a little venture outside.
On their high ground, they have vision as well, a newly placed down Observer Ward. And Moo, he's walking forward to this one. They do have Glyph available, but they don't want to have to be pulled out of position. Lifted up on him, March, he's dead!
Uh-oh.
That ain't good.
It's an instant getaway there by J-Storm, just instantly wanted to disengage. That was meta used, but like we said, he's got a refresher orb.
And he's going to have buyback in 40 seconds anyways. It seems unlikely that Forward are going to be able to do anything with that. You have to anticipate that people have buyback at this point, so.
They're still going to try to get something out of it. Top lane, he's sending Illusion. Bottom lane, he's sending 2 Illusions, and then they're going to try to walk mid and try to get something out of it. Looking at Runes, scouting that one out, MSS 2. It's an Illusion. Pretty good for Terrorblade. Not quite a DD, but almost as good.
Yeah. An Arcane up top, but that one might be claimed by the OD depending upon the vision that they get. You're certainly gonna, I would imagine, send somebody from Forward to go and check that rune. Maybe they'll just want to try and push it out regardless. But this game, it's still 30,000 net worth lead for J-Storm. That becomes much less relevant than the buybacks that you have.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, we've got all 10. We've got all 10 buybacks available, and the big thing I think for Forward is really, I'm watching MSS, is if he's able to, he hasn't gotten a chance actually to steal Soulbind yet in this game. Soulbind could be pretty good for his team, and I mean, or if he's able to actually get any of these big ultis. I think the Stampede is the biggest one, that damage mitigation for his team.
can make all the difference in the world. Yep. BKB timer is getting low as well. The OD is down at 5 seconds. You also have the Terror Blades down at 5 seconds. I think that those are pretty much the extent of it. As we continue to wait for that Aegis to be reclaimed, roughly 2 minutes.
Yep. MSS still has his BKB, but his is all the way up at like 9 seconds because he's hasn't had to use it nearly as much.
Yeah.
And Vision, yeah, they take out that one ward that J-Storm did have, and I'm assuming they probably have quite a bit saved up inside of their base, but to be able to place out afterwards. But wards in the next few moments is really going to be around like this Roche area.
61 minutes now. Both teams playing relatively blind on the other side of the map. J-Storm actually completely blind, as you mentioned.
Yep. Forward is starting to make a little bit of a move out here. Their meta is up in 30 seconds. Getting some vision, too.
And they do, as Aegis, 1 minute and 20 seconds till it's reclaimed from the Jug. Obviously, they're still going to have the Refresher Shard and the Cheese, which is still held by the Centaur.
There's so much gold inside of the bank for these heroes. It's crazy. There's 9,000 on top of bots, too, and a Moon Shard. Moo can start buying items for everyone else.
Oh, SVG, where's the Force Staff? They don't have it. The jump forward to Ravage, they'll connect on everybody, but they have the Supernova on the other side. Now the Soulbind on to 2. Need to back away. SVG and Universe, the ones that are combo resolution with the DD chasing forward, trying to find Bryle. He is going to be able to at least kill off one, but Moo has already killed off 2. The chase almost killing. Needs a couple more. The Astral saving. I don't know if it would have been enough, but now turning on to Moo. He will have a Sunder available if he can get out of this one. He tries to get it off, and he's able to make it happen, but there's the Omni Slash 14 down resolution. Ywar also in trouble, and Bryle lives. Somehow, some way, the OD gets it done, and MSS just trying to walk away, but eventually, he too will fall.
Oh my god. Rezo was looking like he was doing a crazy amount of damage in the fights, but too much control really coming in, and having these items, right? Having that Roche, having this double sanity is really coming into play there. And it's like Rezo is a monster, right? Rezo is a monster for forward. But J-Storm, we talked about a lot. They have multiple monsters that actually contribute into the fights in comparison.
Everybody from J-Storm just hit level 25 forever. If he hits a hoof stomp, it's lasting forever. There's the Hex, and just blow up Bryle. What are you doing?
This is late game. Gotta watch your positioning. You can die in a single disable.
Just like that, it puts the kibosh on the push. It is still 5 buybacks pretty much, and I'll lift up in the midst of that dive. And now the chase forward from Ywar. March looking like he is also going to eat the dirt, although maybe the Phoenix just walks away.
Oh?
Chase Phoenix, all right, March does it. What? They gotta put on his juke shoes.
That was, I mean, that's an important live too, because he used his buyback before. That would have been a huge kill there. If Forward was able to get it, they could have at least put some more pressure on.
Again, it's this back to the status quo. At some point, you gotta make a move, but it's really hard to do it.
So many buybacks used. The big thing is, though, that J-Storm, they have the buybacks on the big heroes. Moo, as well as Bryle, have theirs still saved.
Did see the MSS Rubik go for the telekinesis cooldown, so down to 7 seconds.
Yeah, it's really good. Sometimes it's like the 50% spell out might be completely broken in some situations, but in this game, he wants to just have, we saw, like, one disable can win you the game. One disable can just instantly kill somebody, so if you have the more telekinesis, the better.
And it's a long duration lift, too. Keeps it up there.
Yeah.
Can pull them back further as well with that level 20 talent, pulling people out of position. The ghetto bat rider.
Yeah, this is true. That's very true.
So 65 minutes in, and while it feels like we've been on the brink this entire time, haven't pushed ourselves over the edge as of yet.
Team's being careful.
Yeah, playing it safe as can be. What else do we see as far as 25s are concerned? Inkswell radius? Pretty big.
It's massive. It's massive. Like, the plus 200 makes it so big. Yeah, 600 radius. That's a lot.
We've got the hit count for the Phoenix, and the Centaur going for the hoof stomp duration.
So much, I mean, there's so much disable coming out now on the side of J-Storm between that. And we were talking about the Rubik lift cooldown, but now they've got an Inkswell, which is 600 radius, and a hoof stomp, which lasts also a ridiculously long time. So if they can actually combo a hoof stomp into an Inkswell, someone's going to be stunned for over 6 seconds.
Yeah. Also, the Nether Blast damage is the one that we went for the Pugna.
Yeah. Yawar's game has gotten really hard, though. His
Yes.
positioning, I mean, he just die pretty much instantly because he's a Pugna in the late game. He's very squishy, and his farm really slowed down in late game.
Wherever we are now.
now we're in the late game, but his farm had slowed down around, like, 30 minutes ago, whatever you want to call that. That's like the middle-ish late game. And, yeah, some of the most gold I've seen on a Juggernaut. 14,600 on top of bots 2, on top of Moonshard.
Yeah, this is where you start buying Moonshards for other people, it feels like. Does
Brian
OG
already
have
has
one
it,
yet?
though.
Oh
Yeah, Brian
my
already
God.
has it. He doesn't have anyone to give it to. Like, what's he going to do, give it to a Centaur, right?
I don't know. It does feel like...
Options are limited from...
You're slotted.
Yeah. Like, buy obs and sentries for your team. That's what you do.
Obviously going to be able to switch back in the blink if he needs to.
Yep.
So buyback status, we're still a couple of minutes away for the Radiant. 4 minutes before all of them will be back up again.
These fights are still... They feel difficult, though, even
Yeah.
forward, because it's really... Where's the damage coming from in the fights? It's resolution. It's really like all gonna be coming from him, because Yawar, if he's able to survive, sure, he can get his Daggons, his blast off. He will be doing a significant portion, but surviving is super hard as this Pugna in this later game.
When you can have certain heroes just key in onto you as well, and the egg, we've seen it just barely get taken down a couple of times, and Moo now just walking forward onto the range barracks saying, come and deal with me.
They know they have the buybacks on their 2 cores, while on the opposing side, they know forward does not have their buybacks.
And of course the bots level 2 can get them back into this fight, but they've already taken that range barracks, and there is no way to heal this, or that one down obviously since it was killed off. The melee will start to regen up.
Wait for that next Roche. Yep. Another refresher shard on top of the refresher orbs that they have. How many refresher orbs do they have now? 1, 2. Cryo could buy one as well. So they already pretty much have 4 refresher shards on the side of J-Storm.
That's more than a few, and
refresher orbs, yeah.
just needing that little bit extra to put them over the edge. I think he has that courier. He's keeping the eyes on the other area, and of course forward can't really come and contest this. Need to wait in their base until buybacks come online again. Of course there is that cooldown on refresher shards. They're going to pass it over.
Yep. I just do so many refreshers. Everyone has a refresher.
We're going to be seeing things multiple times.
Yeah.
And Grimstroke, obviously one of the big late game team fight abilities with Soulbind, can make all the difference in the world if you find that double hex.
Yeah, I mean, it's a BKB piercing Soulbind on top of that too, just for like the slow and the annoyance if it doesn't get comboed.
A very long time, the Sinister Gaze with the Glimmer Cape and Moo, and I need to walk back. He's taking a lot of damage there. Doesn't feel comfortable sticking around that much longer. And Metamorphosis pop from Resolution, that might be the cue for J-Storm to back out, at least for the moment. They have the Healing Ward. Just want to take down this barracks.
I mean, even if they get Mega Creeps,
right?
Forward can hold for versus Mega Creeps. Like, they've got a Vlad's Tide, they've got a Terrorblade, they've got heroes that can definitely deal with it.
70 minutes. It still feels like it could be a little bit longer than that.
Oh yeah. Get comfortable.
Terrorblade.
As soon as we say that, though, you know,
right,
remember,
of course.
we just said that, so game could probably end abruptly in the next 30 seconds or so.
And they don't have buybacks for another minute.
Yep.
That's scary times, Moo. Frost Shield is there, the lift up yet again. Need to be careful about overcommitting. They have the Sinister Gaze, pull it back in. There's the Ravage to try and interrupt onto the back lines. Not bad at all. Moo is going to be isolated there, the Chain Frost, and now the jump forward. Can they blow him up in time? Save the clip, the full combination. MSS Resolution taking a lot of damage. The secondary Soulbind, but the BKB was already out from Rezo, and now Moo trying to taste down Rezo. They have the second Soulbind. They kill him off, and that's 4 dead, 2 minutes, no buybacks. Go for the tier 4s because there is not enough time, I don't believe. No glimpse, no nothing. This might be it.
And just like we said, could be in for a longer one, and like we said, it's going to end in 30 seconds probably because of that. Yeah, J-Storm are able to take it. They know that they had their buybacks. They wanted to force the issue. They get the disables off. The Soulbinds time and time again catching 2 heroes.
Oh, it's been from J-Storm as they take down their rivals of Forward Gaming in the best of ones and knock them out of the tournament. You can see March is feeling it.
Yeah, they did a very good job with their big ultis. That was the biggest, like the big thing for me is Moo played an excellent game, but just like this Phoenix and this Grimstroke's positioning a lot of the times, they were seeming to get the disables off over and over again. And in the end there, that egg pops and yeah, it's over.
Well, and
Juggernaut!